And so, yeah, like the support quality, the performance, and then all of the tools necessary, like having SSH access, you have Git, you have New Relic, the APM tools, being able to change PHP versions easily. Pretty much everything that I need to do my job and help my clients is there.
Mike, welcome. We've been communicating through email quite a fair bit, so it's nice finally meeting through call and, putting a face to the Mike Andreasen. So, yeah.
We're real people.
Could you please give us an overview of WP Bullet, what niche your website is focusing on, and share a bit more about your WordPress, your relationship with WordPress, and how did you even get started with WordPress in the first place?
Okay, so when I started with WordPress many years ago, and I got accelerated with it when I was studying for network systems engineering in Denmark. And I was really bored during that course because I knew a lot of it from my own self-study. And so I was making tutorials every day for teaching people how to set up their own Linux web server. And I was using WordPress to publish the tutorials. And it started getting really popular and my site started crashing and I didn't know why. So I started trying to debug and figure everything out because I was using the terminal and I was able to have all the access I needed to figure out what was going on. And so I started figuring out how to leverage caching intelligently and configuring server parameters to make sure the site could function well. And then I started helping people on Facebook and in other areas who had similar problems. So anytime a website is crashing or you're spending a lot of money on marketing and the people, are getting a bad experience, like gateway timeouts or seeing errors, we like to come in and help debug and find out why that's happening and give solutions so that things can get back on track.
So you learned site optimization by your own, wow.
Yeah. I get really obsessive about certain things when I get really interested in them. And I've always liked optimizing life in general. So I don't like time is very precious and I like to give people back their time and use my own time as wisely as possible. So that's what motivates me to help clients is, giving them back their time and customers as well. They shouldn't be wasting time if they can avoid it.
So your business model focuses on helping business owners with their site speed, site optimization. How does recommending certain hosting providers fit into this business model? Why do you focus on recommending certain hosting providers over the others? Like why you recommend Kinsta, for example?
Yeah, so I tell clients when we do an intro call and they fill out my intake form, I tell them 80% of the time, if they're not on one of the few hosts that I recommend that I work with, because I know their stack very well, the support is really helpful. They have all the tools necessary for me to be able to help in case something is going wrong. 80% of the time, changing host from one of the very low budget, I won't name any names, but people are familiar with the ones that are like, oh, you're on that host, just move over here and it's all of a sudden a night and day difference. So it's usually the cheapest and easiest solution to seeing, is it a coding issue or a database issue or something else? Because if I move the site over to Kinsta and the site is still performing really slowly, then I know I need to do advanced debugging. Okay. So it helps start the relationship with the client off on a good foot where you're showing trust and transparency and you're saying, hey, let's try this first. And if it's not getting the results that you are expecting, then we can do an advanced troubleshooting project and then Kinsta has all the tools available, like the APM and New Relic, for me to be able to go in and figure out what's going on. And clients love that sort of hand-holding, come with me on the journey approach, because then I'd like to share as much information as I can about why I'm doing what I'm doing and show them screenshots and make things relatable for them wherever possible. And that depends on the technical knowledge of the clients as well. Sometimes they're just like, look, just fix it. I don't care. But the ones who like to know what's going on in some level are really appreciative of it. And the Kinsta, when they see the Kinsta dashboard, it's so beautiful. Like that, I really appreciate all of the effort that went into the user experience. And I've even had calls with the UX team years ago where we could give feedback and improve things even more. So it makes technical stuff that's kind of difficult to deliver to users in a digestible way easier. Like the analytics stuff with the errors and like being able, like that's, being able to search in your error logs without having to SSH in and like using grep and all of that stuff. I think Kinsta really helped shake things up in the hosting world when it came to the dashboards for hosting companies. So
yeah. So what would you say? Would you say it's because of the dashboards that you're recommending Kinsta's hosting, or would you say like what other like benefits you review when recommending this host, like Kinsta's hosting?
Yeah, so it's performance is also super important, especially because that's my niche. So I need to make sure that the server is going to have enough raw horsepower. And since Kinsta use Google Cloud and the high powered, like the EC2 instances or whatever number it is now, that means I know that the server power isn't going to be an issue. And the support quality. So I've dealt with a lot of hosting companies and support staff, and it's usually the least favorite part of my job, to be honest, because it can be a very frustrating experience.
Oh, you there, so
for someone, like for someone who knows how to configure things themselves, and like something that should take 5 minutes, if it takes much longer, you get frustrated. But Kinsta, I think, is quite good at vetting the support staff and making sure that they're at a similar caliber and level, which is really, really good. And so, like the support quality, the performance, and then all of the tools necessary, like having SSH access, you have Git, you have New Relic, the APM tools, being able to change PHP versions easily. Pretty much everything that I need to do my job and help my clients is there. And it's served on a pretty platter for the client as well, to be able to go view in, like being able to invite collaborators is really easy, adding SSH keys. Like you guys have thought of pretty much everything, and you take on user feedback really well, I think. So that's helped it become super useful for everyone.
We're definitely open, to improvements. We're, like serving the customers. They are, it's for them what we're doing. So yeah, definitely any feedback is super helpful in terms of improving the Kinsta hosting. You're a very, very, very successful Kinsta affiliate. Like I think you've been with us since the very beginning of Kinsta affiliate program. How come? So you're focusing on site optimization and like debugging and helping your customers. How come you pursued affiliate marketing? Like how did Kinsta's service in an affiliate program align with your business model?
Yeah, so I prefer to work with a few clients in depth rather than a lot of clients at a superficial level, because that's just my style. I like to go deep. I like to understand things thoroughly. And I know that, so it's all about relationships for me. So, and the relationships I have with my clients tend to be quite strong, and they trust my judgment. And so finding hosting partners that have a similar view on the relationship importance is really important to me. And I know that if I'm bringing a client over to a hosting company, they will stay there until, unless they have some really good reason to move, my recommendation goes a long way. And Kinsta's revenue sharing is very, like, it's the way that I would design an affiliate program, because if like a lot of the hosting companies will only give you a one-time payout. And for me, like business-wise, it makes sense. I understand why they choose that. But relationship-wise, I think it's not a smart decision, because if I'm going to bring a client over that's going to pay $300 or $600, whatever, for every month for the next 10 years, I feel like getting a cut of that while they remain a client feels fair to me. So for me, it was like, that all of the boxes were ticked when it came to, they fulfill all my requirements. And plus the affiliate sharing was on point. So it became an easy decision, honestly. Like, I think the WordPress world needed a company like Kinsta to come in and really, like I said, shake things up.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you find out about Kinsta's affiliate program in the first place? Like,
so it was Brian Jackson, your old
oh
CMO.
yes, yes.
Brian and I are friends, and we met in Facebook WordPress groups many years ago, and we clicked. We had a similar sort of philosophy on site optimization. I still recommend his program. His plugin Perf Matters. So it was actually him that clients, when we're coming on Kinsta and we're having performance issues that unrelated to the hosting, and they were looking for someone to help, right? And you want to be able to recommend, like, if you're recommending a plumber or an electrician or something like that, you want them to be someone who's actually going to help. And yeah, I helped out one of their clients. He made this beautiful New Relic graph, and it was called the Mike effect, where things just went down significantly.
Oh, I need to check that out. I'm curious about the mic effect now.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was super rewarding. So, and after that, like, just, I like to think I'm quite professional and good at communicating and thorough, and it worked out really well. So any clients that were having performance issues would get sent over to me to try and help out.
Yeah.
Then Brian said, "Oh yeah, like we have this affiliate, model and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know how much influence he had on the design of the affiliate program at the time, but I was like, this is exactly how the affiliate program should be for any company if you want long-term relationships and customer retention."
Yeah, exactly. So we are focusing on long-term relationships. So we understand, like we are offering the one-time bonus plus recurring commissions. We offer one-time bonus because it's nice to have, oh, wow, like there's that amount of money. But then over the time, the longer the customer stays with us, the longer your, like commissions are going to be, like the lifetime of the customer, lifetime recurring commissions. So you built quite like a passive income over the years. You're getting, like, you have a strong relationship with your clients, and like we have a strong relationship with our clients. So I think it's really good for both of us in terms of yeah. So from my experience, from many developers or business owners, they discard affiliate marketing. They're being afraid of like sounding a bit of untruthful, or like losing their customer trust when recommending products, tools, services, when they're like affiliate link related or partner programs related. What would you say in this case? What would you recommend to these users? Like, would they lose the customer trust if you recommend a tool that you really trust?
So for me, it's always been important to only recommend tools, services, software that I stand behind. And I always tell the client, like, hey, like, this is my affiliate link, it's not going to cost you any extra. And I even use it as a way to show that then we both have stake in the success of the relationship. So if I recommend Kinsta, like, Kinsta has a vested interest in making that work because they want to keep you long term, and I have a vested interest in making Kinsta work well with the site as well. So I think I know it has a bad reputation in some ways, the affiliate marketing, because people will share their link everywhere without, like, but I think when it comes to the right products and the right service where the quality is there, and Kinsta usually make me look good, right? So when they're like, oh, like I put a demo of their site in my account, and they're like, oh, this is the same website, like all you did is change the host, and they're like, yeah, then I can simply transfer it over. Then it's so I think affiliate marketing, when it's done right, is more of a relationship building thing rather than, oh, I'm just trying to like make a quick buck. I don't think that's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. There's like, it has to be a balance. You have to be a trusted affiliate. I think it's really important to, like, show that you care about the customer or about, the product that you're recommending. You have to know it, and also trust it, know that it's going to help your customer in the end. So yeah, that's very important.
Exactly.
Would you mind sharing some like tactics or tips in your affiliate market? You already shared quite a fair bit, like, trust the tools that you're recommending, like helping building your relationship with your customer. What other, like tips you have or strategies to build this passive income, affiliate passive income?
I think reviews are really important, like honest reviews where you detail the different features that you like and why you like them. Integrating as many stories as you can, like anecdotes from your actual other clients that their website had this, problem and this experience was happening for their customers or whatever. And then we moved them over here and we, twisted some knobs and turned some dials and ta-da, like everything got way better. I think people are way more skeptical nowadays of reviews and affiliate marketing than probably before. So making something that is like sharing real stories and of real people and their actual situations, I think goes a really long way. And people can detect that kind of authenticity, and they relate to it a lot more than just some generic like review that's just, oh, everything is amazing, there's nothing that's wrong with this thing at all, like and just putting the affiliate link in banners everywhere instead of sharing genuine stories. So.
I really like your approach. It's interesting to see because in the affiliate marketing, like there's a lot of paid reviews, like they just put certain products at the top just because they get upfront money. So they're not being truthful about, like the product itself, or it's just money-making business. I really like your approach on that, and it shows with your success, definitely, through our affiliate marketing. What improvements would you say that your customer noticed since they migrated to Kinsta? What problems Kinsta solved for them?
The big ones tend to be like site stability. So if the site is crashing and, they're running marketing campaigns, that kind of stuff, and then we move them over and all of a sudden the marketing campaigns actually have an ROI instead of just costing a lot of money. The amount of errors that people see as well, like 504s, gateway timeout, 502, bad gateway, things being really slow in the back end. Like in one of my initial things, I have a client who, I forgot what they were selling, that they had all of these like red statuses in their WooCommerce orders section from trying to process orders, or things failed with like the callbacks from certain APIs. And then we moved them over to Kinsta, and then like everything was green, pretty much immediately, right? Because now there was enough resources and horsepower to be able to get things back. And the relief that you can feel from these clients when like they're putting in all of this effort, to like build something successful, and it's in many cases it's their livelihood, it's their own business. I'm interested in them succeeding. It's really frustrating to put in a lot of effort into something and it doesn't work, and if it's simply because the hosting provider is not up to par, that can be, it's like a huge nail in the head that is,
I know.
And it's like, oh, like finally, like I've had clients tell me like, oh, now like my husband or my wife is now like so happy. I'm not complaining about, customer support that I had to do because, oh yeah, this failed and this and that. So it really impacts people's lives positively in a very meaningful way.
You'll also be pleased to know that we recently introduced also malware scanning when migrating to Kinsta, which is free of, cost. So that's a bonus for our affiliates as well, and for customers, definitely. Mike, well, thank you so much. This was a delight to learn a bit more about you, your approach. What's next for Mike Andreasen, like in the realm of WordPress?
That's a good question. Well, we're doing the Do the Woo podcast, which has been really exciting. We had a launch party in Turin at WordCamp Europe. That was really cool. And I have people all asking me for training or workshops and that kind of stuff. People want to learn how I approach things and what I do. So I'd like to find a way where I can do that without it taking up too much time, and also making it accessible for people. So I'd also like to start selling plugins at some point. The customer support aspect scares me because I don't want to spend all day like answering support tickets. And I have a lot of cool plugins that we've developed over the years, my team and I, to help figure out, certain performance issues and stuff. So that would be really cool to try and see if we could make that work without it. It's a time thing. Quite frequently.
Yeah, it's a time optimization. That's where.
Yeah, exactly.
What are your thoughts on AI and support? I'm just curious because you said like you're struggling with the support. What's your take on that?
I guess I see how it has a purpose. Like a lot of questions can be answered by a robot. I only go to support when it's complicated. So for me, it's a different different case. So I would love to see AI become so good that it doesn't feel like you're talking to someone who gives you the wrong answer confidently. Is something I find quite frustrating.
Also happened, yeah, for sure.
With ChatGPT, when I'm like, it gives you ask it something and it's like, oh, like just go here and this, and I'm like, that doesn't exist. Like that CLI command in WordPress CLI just simply doesn't exist. I don't know. It's not something you can install. It doesn't exist anywhere on the internet, but it tells you with such confidence that it's concerning, right? So I'm sure we'll get there since it's the infancy still. I think with enough time and refinements, we'll find a balance where we'll reserve humans for the human stuff and AI can handle the more. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me the call. We hope this was quite helpful. And if you have any questions, you can always email us at affiliate@kinsta.com. Mike, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. That's all.